about a little story of mine. It's kind of a crazy thing that happened to me. Actually, this happened to me 2 times, and I just thought I would share it just because then you can be aware, and then you can also know that this stuff really does happen in the world, and it's really scary. You got to be safe. So let me get started. So one day I was in Starbucks with my parents. I believe we were on our way to like Busch Gardens or something like that. And we decided to stop at Starbucks on our way there because, you know, we always need our Starbucks. But anyways, we stopped there, and obviously we went in, we ordered our drinks, and as we were waiting on our drinks, this girl came in. She was about 19, 20, early 20s at the most, and she didn't order anything, but she came directly in towards me. And she stood by me, and she didn't say anything at first, and she was just kind of standing there, and I was like, this is really weird, this is awkward. Like, she didn't even order anything, she just, like, is standing beside me. So I was a little weirded out, but, like, I didn't say anything, obviously. And then all of a sudden, she started talking to me, and she was, like, mumbling a little bit, so I couldn't really understand everything she was saying. But I heard her say God the Mother, and I was really confused. I was like, what is she talking about? What is God the Mother?
A social media post has caught on like wildfire, claiming a religious group that preaches God the Mother is involved with sex trafficking and uses a Bible study to lure women.
Our Megan Reyno with why these claims that haven't been proven true is harming the fight against human slavery.
Over the past few weeks, several Texas Tech students have received this invitation. 2 women approaching them about God the Mother. Sarah Bordelin says she didn't think much of it until days later when posts popped up on her social media.
Didn't see them approach anybody else, so to gauge whether that was odd or not. I didn't feel threatened until afterwards when people started making a big deal about it.
But these claims have yet to be proven true. Anna Claire Beasley, founder of the tech organization Students Ending Slavery, says all it takes is a Google search to learn these accusations are false.
In each of these campuses, the local police department did an investigation, and each time came up short. There was nothing actually like empirical data there that said that there was anything going on.
Then she started talking about her college that she went to that she thinks I should go to. And she just started talking about all this random stuff like she knew me, like I was like her best friend or something. But it was really strange because it was like it was very well prepared and that she really knew what she was doing when she came in. She knew what she was supposed to say, what she was supposed to do. And then she was also watching out of the window whenever she was talking to me. So it was really strange, like she was looking for someone and waiting for someone to like tell her what to do, what move to make, and it was really, really just strange. And after a while, I was just really confused. I was like, you know, what am I supposed to do? I felt her like start to get closer to me, and I'm like, this is just so weird. My parents were right over beside me, of course, and they were watching the whole thing. They were watching all of it happen. They were just really weirded out as I was. And they decided that we would go because she went to the bathroom right after this. She got up all of a sudden and just started going to the bathroom. I'm like, okay. So she just went to the bathroom. She started talking to me, like didn't even like end the conversation. She just like went to the bathroom. So I was like, we need to get out of here. This is creepy. So we got our drinks and we left and we went back into the car. And as we went back into the car, we saw her come out of Starbucks and pull this van pull up next to her. She got in. It was like this really weird, creepy van with this man driving it. And we're like, that is just really strange. And I was just so weirded out. But after a while, I didn't really think a thing of it. I'm like, this is just strange. Like, whatever. It's weird, but I didn't really remember it very much. Well, about like 4 months later, I'm scrolling through Facebook, right? And I get chills thinking of this because it's just so scary and so creepy. But anyways, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and all of a sudden, I see a post about God the Mother. And I was like, wait a minute. No way. And I clicked on it. And then once I clicked on it, I realized that the thing that the lady told me about was God the Mother. And this post was talking about sex trafficking. And I was just like in shock, like my whole body just froze up. And I went to my mom immediately. I was like, do you remember the lady at Starbucks? You remember how it was really creepy? Well, she told me God the Mother. She was talking about God the Mother whenever we were in Starbucks. And look at this post. Like this is talking about sex trafficking. So this means this lady was in sex trafficking. And I just got chills all down my whole body. It was horrible. And it was just sad. Like I just felt like I wanted to cry because like just for that girl, I just feel so sad for that girl. And it's just such a scary thing that happens every single day. Well, then after that, it was about a month or two later, we went to the mall, me and my family. And it's this really big mall. We don't go there quite often, but we decided to go there. And I was in Sephora. Well, my mom was sitting outside in like the lobby area beside Sephora. And she was sitting with, I think it was my youngest brother and then my youngest sister. And as I come out of Sephora, I see these group of girls come out and start talking to her. And it's like a 19-year-old woman, a 20-year-old woman, a 2-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 17-year-old. I mean, just the biggest large age range. And they're all different races. They look nothing alike. It's not like they were related. It was just a bunch of random girls, all different ages, together in a group talking to my mom. So I'm kind of walking a little faster because I'm a little bit like, okay, like, who are these people? Why are they talking to my mom? Well, I pull up, and I'm glad I did because my mom was all alone, of course, with 2 babies, and they're all screaming toddlers. And she was, like, in desperate need of help. So I was like, okay, let me help her with the toddlers. But as I go up there, I see these ladies talking to her, and I hear them talking about God the Mother. And my whole body just, again, froze up. I was just in chills because I was so freaked out. I remember the day that lady came up to me and talked about God the Mother, and I saw the post about it, and I knew what it was, and I was not going to let anything happen this time because I knew and I was aware of what was going on and what was happening. So my mom started to tell them, like, stop. Like, in her loudest voice, she's like, get away from me, stop. I know what this is. I know what you're doing. You need to get away.
If you feel uncomfortable, you don't have to talk to them, and you don't have, just like with anyone, if anyone approaches you, you know, you don't have to talk to them. And you can, if you feel really uncomfortable and they're at your house, you can call the police if you need to. But I think we just need to be careful about not sharing that experience online and saying this is sex trafficking until you know for a fact that it is.
Beasley says this rumor is taking away from the real issue.
Sex trafficking definitely happens in Lubbock. It's a real issue in most communities, and there's a lot of good work being done in Lubbock to combat it. And I think when we sensationalize it, and we kind of make it about us, like, that is when it can take away, because we're not actually helping anyone by posting false information on the internet.
I know what you're doing, I know what this is, and we just kind of shooed them away. We're like, honestly, I wish there was a way we could help them, but it's just so dangerous because you don't know who's behind that or who's making them do those things or come up to those people. So at the time, all we were trying to do was get them away from us because we had, like, all these babies with us, all my baby siblings, and it was just me and my mom at the moment. My dad was in a different store with my other siblings. So it was just us, and it was so scary. But eventually they left. And it was really scary at the time because they were so forceful and so demanding, and they were just on my mom about all these things. Every time they said something, they were just so demanding about it. And it was just unbelievable. So right after that, we were right across from the Gap store. So we went in the Gap store first thing right after they left, and we told the security, we were like, hey, these people come up here. We know who they are. We know that it's sex trafficking, and it's really dangerous. We need you to get a hold of security.
Thank you for making us your choice in news. I'm Katie Hinker. Those stories are just ahead. But first, how can we tell when rumors we see circulating on social media are real? KIMT News 3's Brooke McKivergan has been looking into viral posts about human trafficking warnings and is live in our Rochester newsroom with what she's learned about stories like this. Brooke.
Katie, I see it on Facebook all the time, women claiming that they've been targeted. And today I saw a post that shocked me, so I decided to dive a little deeper. One of my Facebook friends shared this post claiming that people were trying to lure young women into sex trafficking by asking if they would come to their Bible study. I reached out to both Mason City Police Department and RPD, who both tell me that they haven't heard anything of it. In fact, Captain Sherwin from RPD tells me that without a doubt, this is not how sex traffickers operate. This rumor ended up being false, and as I headed to Snopes.com, I found many others were debunked as well. One teen I spoke with today tells me that actually educators in today's school system don't talk about sex trafficking, and she wishes they would.
I think it's something that they need to talk about because it's so obviously common at this point, but I think every school should be talking about it.
Live in Rochester, Brooke McKivergan, KIMT News 3.
Now, Captain Sherwin also says that typically most sex trafficking victims are known to the offender and are vulnerable either due to socioeconomic status, addiction, citizenship issues, and more.
Blah, blah, blah. So they went out, they had security go and look for him. They couldn't find him. But we just made sure we let them know. So as we're walking down the mall, we're like, we're getting out of this place. This is super creepy. We don't want to be here anymore because it's just so scary. And as we're leaving, we see them again. And as we're passing them, they give us dirty looks, of course. But we're just like that's just the most horrible thing. And then all of a sudden we look over to the side and we see this man kind of like spying on them. And it was obvious that this was completely set up and that he was in charge of the whole thing or whatever. But it was just, oh, so scary. We just went through that scary time. My mom immediately emailed Homeland Security. And she told them everything that happened. She was like, this really needs to be addressed. This is a real thing. And this is not the first time that this has happened to us. This is the second time this happened to my daughter. So the Homeland Security actually called my mom back. And it was crazy because once she told them the whole situation and everything like that, and told them how we saw the posts and stuff all over the internet about God the Mother going around in our city, in our area, he was like, it very well could be sex trafficking. Sadly, it's very possible.
On Facebook and Twitter, sharing pictures and stories about an underground sex trafficking ring, but does it even exist?
Rachel Carden looked into the post and talked to police who say this threat actually is not legitimate, right?
That's right, Barbara and Kurt. So get this. Apparently people on social media are saying they or their friends are being approached by people claiming to belong to the Mother of God group. They say the group is a human or sex trafficking network out to get you or your kids. But police say they don't have a single report that this group even exists.
And so they went on a search for it or whatever. We didn't really get any information after that. We just kind of gave them the basics, and we don't really know what happened after that. But just the thought of those things actually, they're real things that are happening in this world right now. And it's just so scary to me because there's so many girls who are so naive to it. And these girls seem like just innocent girls that are coming up to you and like saying things like, oh yeah, like come to my Bible study. That's what a lot of people said on the post, that people were coming up to them and telling them to go to a Bible study or whatever. Or they'll just say things like, oh yeah, God is a woman, blah, blah, blah. And they're like telling you all this stuff. It seems like just simple stuff that maybe they're just being religious or whatever, but it's not. It's completely set up. It's completely fake, and it's a way to reel you in. So you need to be safe. Kids from 3 years old, if you have a 3-year-old daughter, all the way up to like 18 or even older than that, you need to be careful. And it's just like such a real thing, and it's so scary to me because there's so many girls, again, just so naive and so innocent, and they have no clue, and this happens every day. And it's just a horrible thing. So please, please be safe, and let this story be something that you can remember whenever you're just like off by yourself, maybe at the mall. If you're like my age, or like 16 or 17, you're just like off in the mall by yourself.
Some of the posts have been shared thousands of times. It's on Facebook and Twitter. Warnings about the Mother of God human trafficking ring. But according to researchers, the quantity of the posts mean nothing.
Just because something has been shared a lot actually means that it will be shared a lot more. So you can't rely on the number of likes or the number of shares or retweets.
What about the locations? These types of posts are popping up across the country, but that doesn't make them real either. People everywhere worry about human trafficking, making the threat seem more real, according to Perry.
We have a confirmation bias. You know, if we are concerned about some specific thing and we see a post that validates what we think is true, that's what we want to grab onto and believe.
This post in Virginia Beach quickly got a lot of attention. A woman said these two women approached her and brought up Mother of God. The person who posted said she denied their inquiries, but the police in all 7 cities don't have any reports that this threat is real.
They are going to be aware of things that are widespread. So yeah, once something has gotten rolling, they will have had reports. They will certainly have looked into it.
Virginia Beach police released this statement to us when we asked about the post, saying, quote, "This has been a viral post with no known credibility or merit. We've had investigators look into it in Virginia Beach, and they have found no such reports." Social media researchers caution you to fact check everything you see on social media, especially if you don't know the source. And if you have a real concern, of course, reach out to your local police department.
Be aware of your surroundings. Don't be naive to it. Be safe and have a plan. If it does happen to you, you need to have a plan. You need to know what to do. You need to know to go up to security and tell them. You need to stick up for yourself. You need to not let them force you into things because it's just so scary. So thank you guys again for watching. I hope again this can be something that you will remember because it was very scary at the time, and I'm just glad it's over with, but I just feel so terrible for those people who are already in it. See you guys later. Be blessed.